Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Abdul Wahab, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmacy, Guwahati University of Science and Technology. I am course instructor for the community pharmacy. Our today topic is homeopathy, beech flower, and aromatherapy in complementary and alternative medicines, part 3. So today we will discuss all about the homeopathy, beech flower, and aromatherapy. As we have already discussed in our previous lectures about the herbal medicines and Unani medicine and the different plants and plants materials which are used for the treatment of different diseases. So herbal medicine are medicinal plants which are used for the treatment of different diseases is also the part of complementary and alternative medicine. So similarly, in our today topic, we will be talking about the homeopathy, beech flower therapy, and aromatherapy, because these are also the parts of complementary and alternative medicine. Discussion outlines homeopathy. Today we will discuss about the homeopathy, beech flower therapy, and aromatherapy. So first of all, I would like to explain about the homeopathy, that what is homeopathy. So the word homeopathy is derived from two Greek words, homeos meaning similar and pathos meaning suffering. Homeopathy simply means treating diseases with remedies prescribed in minute doses which are capable of producing symptoms similar to the disease when taken by healthy people. Homeopathy is a complementary or alternative medicine. This means that homeopathy is different from treatments that are part of conventional Western medicine. It is based on the natural law of healing, Similia similibus curator, developed in the 1790s by German doctor named Samuel Hahnemann. A central principle of the treatment is that like cures like. It is the basic principle of homeopathy. Like cures like, that a substance that causes certain symptoms can also help to remove those symptoms. A second central principle is based around a process of dilution and shaking called succession. Practitioners believe that the more a substance is diluted in this way, the greater its power to treat symptoms. Many homeopathic remedies consist of substances that have been diluted many times in water until there is none or almost none of the original substance left. Homeopathy is used to treat an extremely wide range of conditions, including physical conditions such as asthma and psychological conditions such as depression. Similarly, despite of all controversies, homeopathy has spread widely and is a very popular form of healthcare in many European, Asian, and American countries. It is the second largest treatment throughout the world after allopathy. Similarly, Hahnemann's principles of homeopathy still form the basis of modern homeopathic practice, with the exception of the single remedy rules, which is ignored by many homeopathy in favor of multiple prescribing. Today, around 1200 homeopathic remedies are commonly used. For many of these, homeopathic rely on Hahnemann's proving and therefore guidance on which symptoms the remedies can be used to treat. Samuel Hahnemann and homeopathic history. Samuel Hahnemann was a qualified physician as well as an expert of linguistics and chemist. He decided that the cause of disease may also be its remedy, and more importantly, above all, do no harm. Hahnemann's believe that symptoms are more than an outward reflections of the body's inner fight to overcome illness, not a manifestation of the illness itself. He stated that the medicines given to cure should reinforce these symptoms rather than contract them. Principle behind homeopathy. Homeopathy is based on three principles: the law of similars, the law of similar, the substance which used in large doses causes symptoms in a healthy person and can be used to treat that symptoms in a person who is ill. For example, coffee, a remedy prepared from the coffee bean, a constituent. Caffeine is a central nervous system stimulant, would be used to treat insomnia. This is the so-called like yours law concept. The second law, the law of proving. This principle refers to the method of testing a substance to determine its medicinal effect. To prove a remedy, a group of healthy people are given to a dose of the substance daily, and each person carefully records the symptoms experienced when the proving is completed. All the symptoms that the people consistently experience are recorded and listed in the Materia Medica, a prescriber's reference. The law of potentiation, it is the third law. An initial extraction to be used in homeopathy is prepared from the freshly gathered material. Usually the process involves washing the plant to remove dust, macerating in a menser, soaking in pure alcohol for several days before finally filtering and collecting the resulting solution. The solution is termed the mother tincture, where the initial material is insoluble in alcohol. In addition to the basic principle of homeopathy, modern homeopaths also believe that illness results from the body's inability to cope with challenging factors such as poor diet and adverse environmental conditions. That the illness results from the body's inability to cope with the challenging factors. What are those challenging factors? Those challenging factors are poor diet and adverse environmental condition. That the signs and symptoms of disease represent the body's attempt to restore order. That homeopathic remedies work by stimulating the body's own healing activity, the vital force, rather than by acting directly on the disease process. That the vital force is expressed differently in each individual, so treatment must be chosen on an individual holistic basis. Homeopathic remedies and herbal medicines are often confused and are deemed to be similar. The fundamental difference between the two types of preparations are homeopathic remedies are mostly highly dilute, whereas herbal medicines are used at material strength. Many homeopathic remedies, around 65%, originate from plants, whereas by definition all herbal medicine originate from plants. Many of the plants from which homeopathic remedies are derived have a history of medicinal use. Other types of material used in preparation of homeopathic remedies include animal, insects, biological, drug, chemicals, and minerals. But the plant materials have the percentage 65%. And similarly, animal, insect, biological, drug, chemicals, and minerals can be used in the preparation of homeopathic dosage forms. The starting point for the production of most homeopathic remedies is a mother tincture, which is usually an alcohol water extract of crude plant material. The benefits of homeopathic medicine. There are many benefits of homeopathic medicine, including it can be used by pregnant and nursing women. It can be used by children and infants. It does not interfere with the medication taken by a person, means allopathic medicines, because there is no interaction between the allopathic medicine and homeopathic medicines. If an incorrect remedy is selected, it is completely safe and will not harm the person at all. Other than occasional mild and short-lived symptoms, aggravations which pass quickly and tend to be followed by improvements in the symptoms of a person, there are no side effects of homeopathic remedies. These symptoms aggravation is actually regarded by homeopaths as a sign that their correct homeopathic remedy has been selected and usually result in symptoms improvements. It can be used for chronic or acute conditions. It is an individualized system of medicine which treats the person, not merely the symptoms. It is an individualized system of medicine which treats the person, not merely the symptoms. The symptoms, however, are addressed when using this approach and are typically improved. Homeopathy is a holistic approach to healing, one that involves the body, mind, emotions, and spirit of the person being treated. In homeopathy, mostly we treat the body, mind, emotions, spirits of the person. Similarly, homeopathic remedies are readily available and can therefore be used by anyone. Homeopathic remedies are typically inexpensive and therefore provide an affordable approach to healing. Homeopathic remedies can be stored for long period of time. Homeopathic medicine is non-invasive. There are many studies proving the effectiveness of homeopathy when used correctly. So these are some natural substances used in homeopathic medicines. As we discussed that in homeopathic dosage forms, mostly more than 65% plant materials are used. So as you can see over here, fresh or dried herbs, mountain herbs, activated charcoal, vinegar, garlic, caffeine, crust-based bees, white arsenic, poison ivy, stinging nettle plants. So these are the some common materials which are used in the preparations of dosage form of homeopathic dosage form. Uses of homeopathy. Homeopathy has been used mostly widely in patients suffering from depression, allergies, asthma, migraines and tension, headaches, anxiety disorders, dermatitis and other skin condition disorders, arthritis, fatigue, thyroid or autoimmune disorder, digestive problem like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. Beige flower technology. The second therapy is in our today topic is beige flower therapy. Beige flower remedies are an alternative or complementary treatment that is used for emotional problems and pain. Emotional problems and pain. They are made out of water-drawn extracts from the flower of wild plants. Beige flower remedies are thought to help balance emotional state and are commonly recommended by practitioners for psychological problems and pain. Psychological problem and pain. Edward Beach, a medical doctor and a homeopath, created these remedies in the early 1900s. Edward Beach. So therefore, we use the term beige flower therapy because it was introduced by Edward Beach. So beige flower therapy, because in this therapy, in these remedies, the different flowers are used for the relief of pain and other emotional problems. Homeopathy is the belief that the body can cure itself. The idea behind beige flower remedy is similar to homeopathy, but they use fewer materials and don't work directly on physical symptoms but instead on the emotions. The idea behind beige flower remedy is similar to homeopathy, but they are used fewer materials and don't work directly on physical symptoms but instead on the emotions. Beige believed that healing negative emotions helps the body heal itself. His systems contain 38 remedies that each address a specific negative emotion. The emotions are grouped into 7 broad psychological causes of illness: fear, uncertainty, lack of interest in present circumstances, loneliness, our sensitivity to influences and ideas, sadness or despair, cares for others at the expense of self. Choose a beige remedy. Select a flower remedy according to the emotional issue or issues at the root of your problem. You might choose one remedy or mix several together. The 12 healers Beachfield that Edward Beachfield, these were for our primary soul types, the sort of person we are. He equated these with the soul lessons we have come to learn, such as inner peace, agrimony, strength and ability to say no, centauri, and wisdom, serato. We can see these types more easily in children As adult, we have accumulated other layers of imbalance. But when we are under pressure, our soul type may betray itself. The other the others of the 12 are Koikori to dissolve self-pity and me into generosity of giving, uh, Climates to bring dreamers down to the earth, uh, Genshin to resolve discouragement and despondency into the positive quality of life, Impatience to release the quick, tense mind into gentleness, Mimulus from fear of known things into bravery, Rock Rose to transform terror and dread into courage, Scleranthus to bring balance and determination from indecision, Vervain to release our enthusiasm into quiet and tolerance, and Water Violet to change a prone, aloof, or quietly grieving persons into the joy of service and taking part in life. Uses of Bach flower therapy. Edward Bach believed that the healing negative emotion help the body heal itself. This system contains 38 atom remedies that each address a specific negative emotion. The emotions are grouped into 7 broad psychological causes of illness: fear, uncertainty, lack of interest in personal circumstances, loneliness, oversensitivity to influence and ideas, sadness or despair. Aromatherapy. Now we are going to discuss about the aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is a holistic healing treatment that uses natural plant extracts to promote health and well-being. Sometimes it is called essential oil therapy. Essential oil therapy. We can use another name for the aromatherapy, essential oil therapy. Aromatherapy uses aromatic essential oil medicinally to improve the health of the body, mind, and spirit. It enhances both physical and emotional health. Humans have used aromatherapy for thousands of years. Ancient cultures in China, India, Egypt, and elsewhere incorporated aromatic plant components in resins, balms, and oils. These natural substances were used for medical and religious purposes. They were known to have both physical and psychological benefits. As it is a form of alternative medicine that uses volatile plant materials known as essential oil and other aromatic compounds for the purpose of altering person's mind, mood, cognitive function, or health. The most important group is essential oil. Essential oil are concentrated extracts taken from the roots, leaves, seeds, or blossoms of plants. Each contains its own mix of active ingredients, and this mix determines what the oil is used for. Some oils are used to promote physical healing, for example, to treat swelling or fungal infections. Others are used for their emotional value. They may enhance relaxation. Orange blossom oil, for example, contains a large amount of an active ingredient that is thought to be calming. Essential oils are highly volatile and evaporate quickly if left in open air. When left in the open air, the oils create an aromatic scent, as reflected in the name aromatherapy. Methods of isolation of essential oils. Distillation. It is the method for the isolation of essential oils from plant materials. Similarly, expression, solvent extraction, and enfleurage. These are the four methods which are mostly used for the isolation of essential oils. Essential oils may be found in different parts of the aromatic plants. For example, in petals, rose oils; leaves, eucalyptus oils; grassroots, vetiver oil; fruit rind, lemon oil. The essential oil may also be found in different parts of the plant. For example, the orange tree, from which neroli oil is obtained from the flowers; petate grains oil from the leaves; orange oil from the fruit rind; rose oil, vetiver oil, lemon oil, orange oil, eucalyptus, petate grain oil. So these are the oils which are obtained from the different parts of the plants. Methods of using essential oils: massage, it is the method for using of essential oil in aromatherapy. Similarly, bathing, compression, inhaling through vaporization. Pregnant women, people with severe asthma, and people with history of allergies should only use essential oil under the guidance of a trained professional and with full knowledge of your physician. Pregnant women and people with a history of seizures should avoid uh, hair soap oil. People with high blood pressure should avoid stimulating essential oils such as rosemary and spike lavender. People with estrogen dependent tumors such as breast or ovarian cancer should not use oil with estrogen like compounds such as phenol, aniseed, and sage. People receiving chemotherapy should talk to their doctor before trying aromatherapy. Concept of aromatherapy: essential oil can be used not only for the treatment and prevention of disease but also for their effects on mood and emotion. Mood and emotion. Aromatherapy is claimed to be holistic therapy. Aromatherapists believe that the constituents of essential oil work synergistically. Essential oils are described not only with reference to reputed pharmacological properties, antibacterial, but also by terms that are not recognized in conventional medicine: balancing, energizing, etc. Essential are believed to act both by exerting pharmacological effects following absorption into the circulation and the effects of their odor on the olfactory system. Aromatherapy benefits: manage pain, improve sleep quality, reduce stress, agitation, and anxiety, soothe sore joints, treat headaches and migraines, alleviate side effects of chemotherapy, ease discomfort of labor, fight bacteria, virus, or fungus, improve digestion, improve hospice and palliative care, boost immunity. Aromatherapy has the potential to treat many conditions including asthma, insomnia, fatigue, depression, depression, inflammation, peripheral neuropathy, menstrual issues, alopecia, cancer, erectile dysfunction, arthritis. So as you can see over here, when a person inhales an essential oil, that scent is carried by olfactory nerves. As you can see over here, the olfactory bulb, nasal cavity, aromatic substances, olfactory neurons, and limbic system of the brain, olfactory nerve cells in the nose to the olfactory system, which then sends the aroma to the brain, where limbic system of the brain, namely the limbic system, the house of emotions and emotional behavior. Limbic system of the brain, as you can see over here, it is the center or the house of emotions and emotional behavior such as intimacy, passion, and sex. Immediately and depending on the oil, you may begin to feel more alert or more relaxed. You may feel excited and aroused. You may feel the release of negative emotions and or the soothing of muscle tension. Mood enhancer like serotonin and endorphins get released. Serotonin and endorphin get released. As you can see over here in this picture, our sense of smell is 10,000 more powerful than any other sense, and the recognition of smell is immediate. Other senses like touch travel to the brain via the spinal cord, and smell is also the strongest link to the subconscious mind and also to our collective unconscious mind where memories are stored. Different oils have different uses and effects. Basil essential oil is used to sharpen concentration and alleviate some of the symptom of depression. So we can say that we can use the basil essential oil in aromatherapy to reduce the symptom of depression. It may relieve headaches and migraines. It should be avoided during pregnancies. During pregnancies, we can't use the basil essential oil in aromatherapy. Bergamot essential oil is used to be useful for the urinary tract and digestive tract. When combined with eucalyptus oil, it may help relieve skin problems, including those caused by stress and chickenpox. Black pepper essential oil is commonly used for stimulating the circulation, muscular aches and pains and bruises. We can use the peppermint essential oil in aromatherapy, especially black pepper essential oil, for the stimulations of circulation, muscular aches, muscular aches and pains and bruises. Combined with ginger essential oil, it is used to reduce arthritis, pain and improve flexibility. Chamomile essential oil can treat eczema. It is the conditions of skin. It is a skin disease. Citronella essential oil is a relative of lemongrass and act as an insect repellent. Clove essential oil is a topical analgesic and painkiller that is commonly used for toothache. It is also used as an antispasmodic anti-emetic for preventing vomiting and nausea, and as a carminative, preventing gas in the gut. It has antimicrobial, antioxidant, antifungal properties. Eucalyptus oil can also help relieve the airways during a cold or flu. It is often combined with peppermint. Many people are allergic to eucalyptus, so care should be taken. Geranium essential oil can be used for skin problem, to reduce stress, and as a mosquito repellent. Jasmine essential oil has been described as an aphrodisiac. While scientific evidence is lacking, research has shown that the odor of jasmine increases beta waves, which are linked to alertness. As a stimulant, it might increase pineal blood flow. Jasmine essential oil, we can say that jasmine essential oil in aromatherapy can be used in erectile dysfunction because it increases the pineal blood flow. Lavender essential oil is used as an antiseptic for minor cuts and burns and to enhance relaxation of and sleep. It is said to relieve headache and migraine symptoms. Lavender essential oils can be used to relieve headache and migraine symptoms. Lemon essential oil is said to improve mood and to help relieve the symptoms of stress and depression. Clove essential oil is topical analgesic or painkiller that is commonly used for toothache. It is also used as antispasmodic, antiseptic, and prevent vomiting and nausea. And as a carminative, preventing gas in the gut, it has antimicrobial, antioxidant, antifungal properties. Rosemary essential oil may promote hair growth. Rosemary essential oil may promote hair growth, boost memory, prevent muscle spasm, and support the circulatory and nervous system. Similarly, sandalwood essential oil is believed by some to have aphrodisiac qualities. Tea tree essential oil is said to have antimicrobial, antiseptic, and disinfectant qualities. It is commonly used in shampoos and skin care products to treat acne, burns, and bites. It features in mouth rinses, but it should never be sold as it is toxic. Thyme essential oil is said to help reduce fatigue, nervousness, and stress. General uses of aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is now one of the most popular forms of chemotherapy, complementary therapy. Essential oils are used with the hope of treating and preventing illness as well as encouraging rest and relaxation. For this reason, aromatherapy is especially beneficial for stress-related concerns like headaches, insomnia, and anxiety. Aromatherapy typically works in two different ways: through sense of smell and through skin absorption. Let's look at skin absorption first. Many essential oils contain anti-inflammatory properties and may be applied to the skin to fight infections or relieve pain, which can help to lift mood. Physical touch boosts our happy hormones, promotes relaxation, reducing stress, and improving your sense of well-being. So these are the uses of aromatherapy. General uses of aromatherapy: reduces nervous tension. Our bodies hold a lot of psychological tensions when we are stressed, so releasing these can be helpful. Stimulates the body immune system, protecting itself from illness. As muscle tension, making you feel more relaxed and soothing aching muscles. Encourages lymphatic drainage, helping to reduce fluid and toxin buildup. Boosts circulation, helping blood and oxygen circulate the body to promote healing. So it was all about the homeopathy, Bach flower therapy, and aromatherapy. So these are the different sources or references from which we have prepared this our today lecture or topic. So thank you so much. God bless you.